Welcome to Table Talk Reviews. I'm Matt Mitchell. Today we're going to be Coast Guard captains, mapping the coastline and protecting the North Sea in Beacon Patrol, a game designed by Torben Ratzlaff for 1 to 4 players and provided to me by Pandasaurus Games. Let me show you how to play and then I'll share my thoughts. In Beacon Patrol, players are captains of the Coast Guard attempting to move their boats and explore as much of the coast as possible. At the end of the game, only fully explored tiles will score points. Tiles are fully explored when they are connected to tiles on all 4 sides. To set up the game, remove all tiles with windmills and piers. I'll show you how to play with these expansion tiles later on in the video. Place the HQ tile onto the table, setting the orientation for all other tiles played during the game. Give each player a reference card and place their matching ship onto the HQ tile. Shuffle the remaining tiles face down and create as many draw piles as you need. Give each player movement tokens based on the player count. For a solo game, take 4 movement tokens. With 2 or 3 players, everyone will have 3 movement tokens, and with 4 players, everyone will have 2 movement tokens. For all games with 3 or less players, everyone can draw 3 tiles and place them face up in front of themselves. With 4 players, everyone will only draw 2 tiles each. I find it easier to place your tiles in the same orientation as the HQ to avoid placement mistakes later in the game. The last person to visit the sea will take the first turn. On your turn, you can place a tile, use a movement token to move your ship onto an existing tile, or swap tiles with another player. These actions can be taken in any order. When placing a tile, you must place adjacent to the tile your ship is currently on. You must match the orientation of all other tiles and match edges water to water and land to land. Additionally, your ship must be able to move by water onto the tile you place. For example, if I was to place this tile here next, I would not be able to move by water directly onto this tile, so instead I would have to spend movement points to move back onto the HQ tile, place this tile, and move onto it. If after placing a tile and moving your ship onto the new location, you have no adjacent spaces to place a tile, you're going to need to move your ship. To move your ship, flip one of your movement tokens to the red side and move your ship by water 1 space up, down, left, or right to an adjacent tile, never diagonally. You can do this as many times as you have movement tokens. And another way to move is if you have a tile you don't plan to use, you can discard it from the game and move 1 space without flipping one of your tokens. When playing with 2 or more players, once per turn you can exchange one of your unplayed tiles with a tile from another player. You might do this because it's going to fit perfectly where you're going to move into, or you have a valuable tile such as a lighthouse that you can't place, so you want to keep it in the game and pass it to another player. So here I can move onto this tile, and then onto this tile, and then I will exchange these 2 tiles to drop this in here, and it's a perfect fit. Once you are unable to take any further actions or don't want to, your turn will end. Discard any remaining tiles face up in front of you, and draw a new hand of 3, or if you're playing with 4 players, only draw 2 tiles, and flip all of your movement tokens to the blue side. If you're playing the solo game, you can keep one of your tiles between turns. Discard any excess and draw back up to a full hand of 3 tiles. Once all tiles have been placed or discarded, the game ends and we move to final scoring. All tiles that are fully explored will score points. A tile is fully explored if it is surrounded on all 4 sides by other tiles. Your finished map will be much larger than this, but this example shows all the different types of scoring tiles. Lighthouses will score 3 points when fully explored. The HQ tile counts as a lighthouse. Beacons will score 2 points when fully explored, and all other tiles with no special things marked on them will score 1 point when fully explored. So we can go row by row, no points here. This scores 3 points, no points for this. We're missing a tile up there, 3 points. Nothing here, 2 points, 3 points, 1 point, and that's it. Total up your points and then compare your score to the rule book to see how you did. For some added variability, you can mix in the 4 pier tiles or the 5 windmill tiles or both expansions. Simply shuffle those in to the stacks of tiles. When fully explored, a windmill tile will score 1 point for itself, plus 1 point for all of the surrounding tiles that are open ocean. An open ocean has no land pictured on it. It can have other items such as buoys, windmills, the HQ. As long as there's no land, it will score 1 point. So here this windmill will score 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and this windmill will score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When fully explored, pier tiles will score 1 point for the tile themselves, plus 1 point per building pictured on the island they're connected to, even if the building tiles themselves are not fully explored or the island is incomplete. This tile will score 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and this pier tile will score no points because it is not fully explored. And that's all there is to it. Beacon Patrol is a super relaxing game. I really like bringing this one out at the end of the night because although some of it is puzzly, it's not too brain intensive, and especially being cooperative, you can pool your brain power together so nobody gets their brain fried trying to figure this one out. If you like Carcassonne, but the scoring is too much or it's too competitive for you, then this is definitely one to check out. It's very laid back, especially with the nice artwork and presentation as you create the map of the North Sea. There's not too much negatively to say about this game. Adding in 1 expansion did throw off the tile count and confused me a little bit for a second, but it's not really a big deal. The last player will just have less tiles on their final turn. Something that is really great about this game is how satisfying it is to fill holes on the map. When you have 1 or 2 gaps in the map that are preventing you from scoring points and you're waiting out for a specific tile, maybe it's that 3 land in the right orientation, and then you finally get it, you swap from another player, something like that, and then drop it in and score a ton of points. It is very satisfying. I also really liked the movement mechanic where you have to move on to the tile you place. It's not as simple as Carcassonne where you can just place anywhere. You have to move your ship into position, so that created a really fun puzzle to solve. And that's it. Beacon Patrol is definitely one I would recommend you check out if you like these casual, relaxing tile placement games. Then give it a try. That's all for this video. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more board game videos to come.